Do you feel that the church should be culturally relevant and attractive, and something about it be enticing to non-believers in the way that it is run, and the structure of it, part of this whole question gets to who a pastor is, and where they sit in that role of authority, and what parts of it they sort of, because there's definitely talked about the kind of rock star pastor thing, which is you get a big personality pastor, teacher, something, then you get the great rock band worship team, and then that creates an experience that people now who used to think church is boring kind of want to come to and go, oh, I'm going to get this kind of cool, little more relevant thing. So that to me also, I'm thinking about the whole authority structure with pastors and how it probably is, I mean, that's the whole thing we're talking about with government and everything. Anyone who gets in a position of power, of authority, wants to ultimately use that to their own end instead of, and so to kind of guard against that, I know I've just opened up a big, but comment on that however you want.
Well, to begin with, I would say that a lead pastor, senior pastor, whatever you want to call him, there's all kinds of terms that are used now, but his role is to empower his elders, of which he has become one of those. He's part of the eldership, but he is submissive to that body, like all of them are. And if he's submissive to that body, and they are there to discern what Jesus is saying for his church through his word and through his spirit, that is what should form the culture of the church and the activities of the church, the programs of the church, the ministries of the church. So to try to think of what does the world enjoy, or what do just human beings like, to make the church attractive, is a prostitution of the whole purpose of what the church is. We're there to bring them to Jesus. And we do that through a body of men who, with the congregation, submit to his word, to each other, and they listen to Jesus. So he's the one that sets the culture for the church. And I will tell you, the thing that is more attractive to the church than any kind of a rock band or any kind of incredible speaker or whatever is the love that God wants us to have for people. So the leadership of the church and a congregation should be an organism that exudes love for people. And that's what you want people to respond to. Not some kind of a program, not some kind of a thing that they like because they like the music or this or that. And not the music is unimportant. I mean, that's a whole nother issue.
Right.
But I will tell you, nothing trumps love. Nothing. And when you genuinely love people, they know that.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of a culture that the leaders, the elders, with the lead pastor, he's one of them. It's not his church, he's not apart from them, they are together. They are there to create a culture of God's love. And then that involves a culture of grace and forgiveness, because we're all broken human beings. We fail each other, we sin against one another and against God. And that's why the whole concept of forgiving one another and confessing to one another, like James 5:16 says, therefore confess your faults one to another and pray for one another, you may be healed. And 1 John 1 says, if anybody says he's without sin, he's a liar. And that's written to believers. We've got to be real with each other. So that is why, for me, in a church, you need to have some kind of a small accountability group structure where people can tell the truth about themselves. And where people can experience forgiveness and can experience love at a deep level.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing can flow out to the rest of the services and ministries of the church.
Yeah.